Alright guys, so it's 2022 archery season and I finally had the time to put in a food plot. Early April, I was out there with my chainsaws, thinning out all those trees and getting rid of all the scrub brush and taking it all the way down to bare dirt. After that, I did a few quick checks of the soil to make sure the pH levels looked good, and then I just put down like a simple 10-10-10 fertilizer. I grabbed just an inexpensive seed off the shelf, and I know I'm going to have to replant again in August, but the reason I did this was I wanted to create kind of a deer habitat early in the year. I wanted these deer to just really create habits throughout the summer. So you can see here it's August 1st, and you'll notice how the forest is kind of reclaiming the grounds, and you're seeing a lot of that scrub brush kind of come back through, and those crops have lived their life. And so it's time to replant. It's a big day. We're taking it back down to dirt, and this time I'm going to put down a higher quality turnip and radish seed. Anyway, this is how I do it. I use my mower with a couple attachments. This first one's called a dethatcher, and kind of scrapes up the ground maybe like a vertislicer would do. And then this is called a plug or a core aerator, and it just kind of takes everything one step further. Both these attachments are inexpensive, and you can pick them up at any home improvement or garden store. After that, put the seed down, go over it one more time with the dethatcher to kind of bury it under that thin layer of soil. So I really enjoy this process. I find it extremely rewarding, just kind of beautifying the area, and I think it might be like the first few small steps towards homesteading, which it turns out I love it. Working the ground, putting the seed down, and watching it grow. But we'll have to see what happens. It hasn't rained much lately, and it doesn't look like there's any in the forecast. So really we're in a bit of a drought. So when it comes to these crops, we're just going to have to hope for the best and cross our fingers and see what happens. Another big change this year is I've upgraded my bow. I'm now using a 10-point Turbo S1. In years past, I was always using an entry-level bow. It was a Centerpoint Sniper 370. Immediately I can tell the difference. On this 10-point, the trigger is so light and crisp. It's really improved my accuracy, and it's just a more enjoyable bow to shoot. So I couldn't be more ready, so let's get to hunting. Alright guys, we're going to start this deer season off with my brother-in-law Matt. He's going to be taking the shot today, and I'm going to be running cameras. On this particular day, it was beautiful. Started off cool, crisp morning, and temperatures kind of rose as the days progressed. And we have our first visitors. We have two does here, kind of a yearling up front, a nice mature doe there in the back. So I want to say, Matt's really come a long way. His accuracy has gone up over the last few years. His composure has gone up. And something that we talk about a lot is just kind of being ready for when that window of opportunity is there. But at the same time being patient and kind of waiting for just the right shot. This doe gives us just everything you're looking for. Turns broadside. She's right at like 32 yards. You couldn't ask for, a better shot here. Let me tell you though, I named this hunt the Sad Hunt for a reason, and I think even the most experienced hunters, when you witness this, it's the next few seconds they're pretty rough. I know some might say, oh, he hit her a little high. It's hard to argue with the results. That's a double lung shot. She dropped in her tracks and died within 30 seconds. So that's an excellent shot. And hunting's natural. It's been around since the start. But still, taking a life, it's violent. It doesn't always go the way that you would think. And I didn't want to edit this out. I wanted to leave it the way that it was, because it is truly a part of hunting. This next hunt, this is an evening hunt. I called it Pass or Shoot. I put this out there. You're going to see this nice mature buck that shows up. And I decided to name him Two-Face. I think it's pretty obvious there why. So I'd seen this deer a week prior on trail cam and was pretty excited about him. This is the biggest mature deer that I've ever seen while out hunting. It gave me a chance though to think about if I really wanted to shoot this deer or not. It's not 100% clear if his antlers are just broken and next year they'll grow back even, or if this is more genetics. And so even though to me it looks a little bit more like genetics, I'm gonna just hope that they're broken and next year they'll be better. I do end up deciding to pass on this deer, and the main factor that was playing in was this is just the first couple days into the rut. You know, I've been hunting since September, and I'm excited about all these new deer that are showing up and the possibilities of the next week and a half. I'm just not ready for it to be over. I don't want to kind of use my buck tag on him, especially if this is his off year. Then other things that may sound silly to others, but whenever you're running cameras, you know, you need a lot of light, and the fading light here is creating a lot of camera noise. That's that graininess that you see. It's just not ideal for filming. And then I may get made fun of for this, but it's Sunday night. I work the next day. This is a huge deer. It's going to be a lot of work, and just kind of all those contributing circumstances, I decided to let this guy go, and I'm still going to cross my fingers that he'll be back and balanced out next year and bigger than ever. All right, guys, for this last hunt, I named it Shot Placement is Everything. I named the shot itself the Unicorn. I gave it that name for two reasons. One, it's an extremely rare shot that most have probably never seen before. And two, I'll answer at the end of this video. Now, you may have noticed all those acorns on the ground. I'm currently sitting in and surrounded by white oaks. And it's a good thing I am, because my crops didn't grow. That drought continued for 2 months, and there just simply wasn't enough moisture in the ground to support that new plant growth. But the bare ground made it easy for these deer to find all these white acorns, so I really lucked out. Now, I've already released this video once as a YouTube short. It was very popular, and I got a lot of positive feedback. Now, I did get some, though, that said it was unethical, inhumane, and what bothered me the most was everyone that thought I missed. I couldn't believe that anyone could think that this shot was an accident. But for all the non-believers out there, here's my scope cam that shows exactly where I was aiming. Now, to be clear, this wasn't a difficult shot. I think the average hunter could have made it. It's 20 yards with a crossbow. Ethically, if you know your equipment and you know yourself what you're capable of, I don't see a problem with this. Humane, I mean, gosh, you guys saw how the last deer died. If it's in my skill set to dispatch a deer with no pain and no fear, then I'm gonna do it. You know, some would say, well, they could have jumped the string. Well, not really at 20 yards at 390 feet per second. The high-speed camera doesn't lie. You know, we've all seen the video of the deer walking around with an arrow in its head. That's not my story. That's not my deer. This is. By the way, this is why it's called the Unicorn Shot. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're ready for rifle season like I am. And as always, until next time.